Hey y'all, hey, welcome to Tootie Talk Sense. So I don't know what happened earlier. I tried to go live, so it didn't work. I'm gonna have to record it, upload it. Yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe on the video. But let's hop right into it. Let's talk about season 1, episode 6 of the SWV and Xscape uh, Queens of R&B. Now, episode 5 ended with them giving Latasha the messages about Rocky and this kickback, right? So season 6 started off with them in a meeting, and they get her the message, and she's like, they get her the printout, the screenshots of the text message, and she said, well, like, what is this? And somebody else was like, text messages, dude. Like, girl, you know what that is. Come on, stop playing with my intelligence. That's what people do when they're trying to think of a lie. Like, what is this? Like, everything. Remember when your mom used to be like, your teacher called, you be like, what? What you do at school today? Because your teacher called me. I can't hear you. That's what she did. So I said, y'all gonna believe these text messages? Like, oh, you what you gonna do? Believe your own lying eyes, or you gonna believe me and Rocky? I was like, this one. So basically, Rocky was getting money for having the girls perform, and without the girls knowing. So I think Tasha was just stuck, and so she called Rocky. Like, oh, y'all think he be like? It always feel like almost like a threat when you think somebody's scared of somebody. Don't make me call your mama, type of thing. So she was, oh, so since y'all think he doing this, let me call him and see. Like, I don't know if she thought somebody's gonna be like, girl, don't call him. No, don't call Rocky. They like everybody sitting there waiting, like, because we want to hear what he got to say, baby. So she called Rocky. Of course, he denies everything to make us believe it. And then they go to not Tamika, sorry, Tasha believe it. So then they go to Tamika, and Tamika is saying that Tasha been brainwashed since she met Rocky, and I'm like that's true. That could be very believable. And I believe because Tamika feel like Tasha's brainwashed, that's one reason that she didn't go and file charges when it came about her money, because she feel like there's a real possibility. Not even possibility, because it doesn't seem like nobody in the group really like Rocky. So if it was just Rocky taking the money, I think she would have went and filed charges. But because she know her sister's more than likely involved in that she didn't go file charges because she don't want charges to happen to your sister. Because you have to understand is when men, women, when they in it in a relationship like that, especially this couple been together, what they say, 28 years, 9 times out of 10, you ain't with that somebody that long and you ain't got nothing in common with them. So when she's talking about there's a open marriage, yeah, I think she lied about that. But what she was trying to say, I know everything. It's probably all them backhand, underhand deals and stuff he done made. She know about it. She ain't know about them affairs, but she probably know about all that other sneaky stuff that he out there doing. And so she like it's open. We have open communications. I know everything, and a lot of people is feeling sorry for Tasha as if she's the victim of it. I think she is the victim of him cheating, but she may have had a part to play in all this other stuff that's going on with the kickbacks and the money now. So they show everybody getting dressed. Everybody's getting dressed for the not getting dressed, but they're packing up and they're getting ready to leave to go to the tour. Everybody's saying bye to their husbands, saying bye to the kids, and except for Tasha, because Rocky coming right with Tasha. So it's like, when you go, I go. I don't have time to see well, he had the time to cheat like that, y'all. But because he too busy trying to be, I make sure she out there doing not you missed a step. I'm gonna have to fat. Like he too busy out there trying to make sure she going to make money. When you had this time to go and be with all these women, but obviously he had the time and plenty of it, according to the women who have came forth, right? So is that Rocky's the only one who went with her, but at the same time you can't look too much into that because Rocky is her manager. Now, whether managers go on all the tours and all the dates and stuff with you, I'm not sure. I'm not in the industry, but that's the only pass that I would give Tasha. Tasha. As far as like, if we're like, well, ain't nobody else husband there. Why hers? That what hers is her manager. So if that's if managers typically go with their act to the different spots and tour dates, then I understand that. Then they go to the scene of Tamika and not Tamika. I keep getting their name confused. Tasha and Rocky talking about Tamika, and they were saying that when she didn't lie before. And I said, how you gonna use what that girl, and she already came out and said she lied and apologized. Tamika came out and said she lied about Candy because they played a radio, I want to say interview. I don't know if Tamika had called in or what, but she was end up saying that Tamika that Candy was sleeping around, and that's what messed up the group. That Candy being with Jermaine, and she was with her daddy, and you just telling a bunch of stuff. But she already said that she had lied on that, and she had did that for Tasha. She had did it for her sister, but she said she lied and she said she apologized. But now her sister's finna use something that she supposedly had did for you against her to be like, see, y'all can't believe now. She said she a liar. Look at her. I said, if that don't show you that her and Rocky are somewhat of the same mind and rocking together, baby, I don't know what it would. So Tasha and Rocky stays at a separate house than from the group, and everybody else stay at the hotel. When he asks about the kickbacks, first thing he say is that's not true, and they can't prove it. That's what you thought about Tamika with that money, with that 30K that she couldn't prove, and she came with receipts after the show didn't air. So I suggest y'all not keep saying that because you might have to come. They might come with receipts. I want to see if my camera will let me show y'all when he was like, they lying. No, I ain't lying. No, it's not gonna let me show y'all. But man, that part is so funny. He's like, I ain't lying. Yeah, I don't even know how he did it. I don't know how he rolled his neck and licked his tongue like that at the same time. But I'm like, what what in the world just happened? That look like a little snake. That don't go well if somebody accusing you of this corruption and stuff. That you licking your tongue out and everything, living around and look like a snake. Yeah. I'm like they both are delusional to me. Then he said he never had Rocky says he never had a bank account, right? And I'm like, wait, don't you got a business? Ain't that Rockland supposed to be yours? Now that's what he said. Now Kenny them said that ain't his business. I think that was the Robert, the ones in jail. I think that was his business. I think that's what Candy them said. But if not, you supposed to have to be security. You done had jobs. You have to be 40s, 50s. You ain't never had no bank account. You ain't never had no bank account. I said, baby, how does that work? How do you own a business and not have a bank account? Then he said, you can't put someone else check in your bank account. First, that's what he said. First off, you can't put nobody else check in your bank account. I'm like, how would you know? You ain't never had a doggone bank account. How would you know about depositing checks or anything? And I'm like, in second, that's absolutely false. You can't put somebody, you can endorse a check over, or what they call signing over your check. You can sign over your check to somebody else and have them deposit. And he said he don't know if it's possible to steal a royalty check unless you forge their name and social security number. I'm like, look at him telling on himself. Rocky can't help but talk and tell on himself. Like, but I don't know nothing about that. You just gave all the steps. How you don't know nothing about it? You just gave all the steps. So Tasha comes to rehearsal late and she come in with her entourage, which is all Rocky people. So I'm like, at that point, yeah, she would. They done been together 28 years. You have to understand for if Rocky is the man everybody expect saying he is, that he's really pretty much just controlling Tasha, that Rocky is the puppet master and she the doggone puppet. You have to understand one of the first steps is to get all the people from around her. He's probably loving that was probably the last relationship that she wouldn't let go of. It's the relationship with her sister. So he's probably loving that they into it and everything now. But one of the first steps is to get her away from all her friends, away from all her people, and have her, I said when I was a controlling relationship, you slowly get into it where you don't even realize you're being controlled because it starts off so slow. And it starts off with the person making you think that they're doing it for the benefit of you and they only looking out for you. That every person that they meet, they'll have a problem with because that person don't treat you right. And you deserve better. And before you know it, or how they seen men do this, and females, they'll get into it with every person that you're friends with. Everybody that you bring around, they'll get into it with. So now that person don't even want to come around no more because you're not finna pick your friend or whoever over your spouse. So they'll just eventually just stop coming around. And then you realize that you're isolated or you're only surrounded by his people. And it seems like, according to the show, that her whole entourage, her whole team is all Rocky people. Seems like, mission accomplished. So they try to do then they go and do a run through to see how because the problem was they waited too late. They don't know how the songs are finna transition. And then when I say they, I'm talking about SWV and Xscape. They do a run through to see how the transitions are gonna go. It seems like SWV was on point and Xscape was everywhere. Just complaining it was taking them longer. It was not a whole dress rehearsal. They were supposed to just do the songs and see, at the point where it should just transition and see how that was gonna go. Where Escape seemed like they were more doing a whole run through of what everything that they was gonna do. So there was some flaring of tempers with Taj, and Taj was getting tired. And the next day is when they go to the day of the show. Tasha is in a separate room with her team, and she says she has her own. She says she's in a separate room because she has her own makeup manager. She has her own makeup artist, her own manager, her own stylist, etc. She goes and it's a great show. It seems like it's a great show from both groups. Tasha missed the interaction between. Then they go and do a separate interview. Them back interviews that they do. So Tasha said she missed the interaction between her and her sister on stage. Like Tamika used to smack her butt if she does well, and that must be a sister thing. It's me and my sisters, we all do it to each other, y'all. It ain't no big, and most women do. But when she do well, she would be smack her butt like, "Hey, girl, you did that." But you see now that when they're on stage, that she's doing that to Candy because they show when Tasha is talking about that interaction, they flash to the concert that they just did, and Tamika was doing that to Candy. So Tamika tries to come after the show to come talk to Tasha after the show and to tell her that they need to do it now. Yeah, if you see me looking over here, I'm just glancing at my notes. So she go and tell her that they need to do it now because once the cameras are off, she don't feel like she's going to talk to Tamika. Because if you heard when the show first started, she said she hadn't talked to Tamika since that last concert, and that's the initial thing of them getting into it. And she was like, once the camera started, now all of a sudden, no, not Tamika. Tamika said she hadn't talked to Tasha, and that's how Tamika and Tasha got into it with that a concert that they had did when Tamika couldn't get in her dressing room and there was, bow, bow, bow outside. And Tasha ended up leaving with her crew and did not, stay there with Tamika to make sure she was okay. Then Tamika sent a message. Tasha, she was body shaming. And that's what's caused the whole big split between the sisters. Then she said once the camera started rolling, I want to say it was months in between, she said once the camera started rolling, then it was like, oh, well, let's make up and then stuff. Like she felt like she was just doing it for the cameras. So when this show was over, she went to the back and was like, hey, I want to talk to you. I want to work this out because I know you're not going to come talk to me. I'm not going to hear from you once these cameras get out of here. So because I care about my relationship with my sister, I'm going to take advantage of the cameras being here where hopefully you will then talk to me because you ain't gonna talk once these cameras leave. Because and like everybody, all the group has said, after that show did end, she changed her number. And then nobody had her number. Her daddy then said it, everybody in the group then said it, then nobody had her number. She eventually called and gave her number to Tiny. So she actually proved her sister right. So he's telling the truth. Okay, Tasha saying interview tour. So Tasha tried to tell her, Tamika tried to tell Tasha that she changed, but Tasha take it as if her sister's jealous of her and Rocky relationship. Tasha walks out on Tamika, asks her, "Are we?" And Tamika asks her, "Are we sisters?" And Tasha said, "Right here." And Tamika asks, "So your entourage is your family now?" And so Tamika asked Tasha, "Your entourage is your family now?" And she said, "Yes, because they treat me better than you." And Tamika said, "Tell mama to keep a room for you because you will be broke." I'm like that. I'm like that's saying something that she haven't. That's saying something she haven't spoke about. Like, but I'm like, so there's more going on that haven't came out on the show. Because I'm like, I want you to dive deeper up into that. When they have been broke, is that why that 30K end up coming up missing? Did they move out your mama house after the 30K is missing? Because man, when the 30K was sent out, Tamika was saying that Tasha and Rocky was living in the mama house. So is this the pattern? Because when he ain't got to steal, he doing that. He may have some other issues going on when he ain't good with managing money because he's going to other places. Because according to his mistress that was on Tasha K, Unique that did the interview, Rocky asked to borrow her $500 for her because his Amex card only had a $500 limit and it got declined. So you ain't look up into that. Tamika knows some more that she haven't dropped and told. Then Tamika talks about I'm not begging. Tamika go in saying that she's not begging anybody to be her sister. And I said, no, I understand that because that I said what one thing this generation do well. They don't care, baby. They will cut you off. We weren't raised like that. It's like we will suffer and it's family. And you only got one mama or sister, blah 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 blah, and let family treat you horrible. Family be over there keeping secrets, keeping the N words that be touching on the babies, and you've been adept with that, and you have to go to Thanksgiving with them. They don't call the police on nothing because it's family, and you keep that within the family. And I feel like Tamika's at the point that like, no, I'm tired of being quiet. I'm tired of being a black sheep. I'm tired of this. Like I'm tired of begging her. It's like I'm the one who's always giving and reaching out to be, and being quiet in myself in order to be your sister. I'm not gonna keep begging you to be your sisters. At the end of the day, they sister by blood regardless. But sometimes if you got to walk away and separate yourself, then that's just what you end up having to do. Not saying you don't love your sister. And I ain't gonna never be there for. Man, my sisters then went some months or a year or two without talking because we was into it. But the crazy part is, baby, let somebody call somebody being go and fight with each other. You know what I'm saying? We'll go fight for each other. But we'll come back and still not talking. Like, girl, I'm still not talking to you. And then we'll eventually work it out, y'all. So I'm hoping that they will eventually work it out. But Tamika ended up crying, and Candy is the one in the room comforting her. They showed Tasha there. She was just looking. Then she said she's loved her sisters and they need to have a real heart to heart. I'm like, ain't that's what she just tried to do? Did she just try to have a heart to heart with you? But I guess she didn't want to do it because the cameras was there. I don't know. Then she said she want her sister back like her old sister. I'm like, yeah, you want your old sister back, the one who didn't talk up, the one who sat there and took crap, the one who let you walk all over her, was a doormat and everything. I said, but you don't want her back, her standing up for herself. You don't want that sister back. You want the sister back you know, who pacifies you. And and then they show the show, and that was pretty much the end of the show, y'all. I said what I find hilarious is that they call him Edward stealing hands. Yeah, because he be cutting up people money. And when I heard that comment, I was like, man, that was hilarious. But I ain't got much time left, y'all. And that's about all that I had to say about the review of it. So if y'all want to do a deep dive as far as family relationships and when should you cut off your family, when should you stay, is distancing yourself okay? I feel like distancing yourself is okay. If y'all don't feel like that, comment. Let's have a talk about it, y'all. But I'll talk to y'all the next time. Enjoy the rest of y'all day. Bye. Oh, and also, before I sign off, don't forget to like the video. Like the video, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Y'all enjoy yourself. This is Tootie. Bye.